6 foot tall, and then you mentioned Mathangani at 6'1". So Kamaria Rivera is really going to have to work against a bunch of people in the post.
They've got Mathangani on Rivera, so the two leading scorers going head-to-head tonight. Tucker drives, reverse pivots, gets it to Havica. Rivera is going to look to drive. Help side defender sitting in that gap, not allowing that drive. Primo looking inside. Melton's going to take a three off the iron, no good. Rebounded by Kirsten C. Pass off the mark, but recovered nicely by Avery Marsh.
And on that possession, I don't want to say the old pack line defense from Virginia, but it was a lot of that pack in the paint. Rivera was even out at the three-point line where we don't see her very often.
That's Mathangani for three, no good. They get the rebound, they kick it back out. Their second three is no good, but they come up with another scrappy rebound. C with that one. Mathangani, long, lean player, stolen by Rivera. That entry pass by C. Tucker pushes it up the floor.
Yeah, and a really good job there by Kamaria, fronting the post and getting an opportunity to come up with the steal.
Pretty disciplined defense by Rhodes there. Melton off the mark because of those two defenders. Mathangani, even though Michaela Primo was draped all over, Mathangani knocks down the 15-foot jumper.
Yeah, and you can see why she is the leading scorer for them, averaging 18-2 a game. No fear shooting the basketball, and this is where Kamaria is going to have to go after her, maybe try to get her into foul trouble down on the block.
Primo with the reverse layup, no good, rebounded by Rhodes. They're going to push it up the floor. Avery Marsh kicks it out to Libby Long. Entry pass is loose. Mathangani comes up with it, gets it back out to Long, no good. Another rebound by Rivera.
Yeah, Kamaria has done a really good job early on securing the defensive backboard. Like to see a good shot taken here from Oglethorpe. First couple of possessions, it's been some rush shots or shots from deep from people that you don't want shooting from deep.
Melton from 18 off the mark, rebounded again by C. I think that's her third or fourth rebound here early. Libby Long with it. Mathangani out on the perimeter. Nice deflection by Tucker, leads to a steal by Primo. Primo gets it to Melton. She drives and lays it in. Oglethorpe on the board.
Defense turns to offense, a little 2-3 zone action, and now they're going to come up in this 2-2-1 trap defense that they've been employing quite a bit under Coach Ritchie.
Mathangani on that right wing, looking inside to Taya Lee. Rivera deflected it. I thought it might have gone off Lee, but it did not, so it's going to be inbound under by Rhodes. We've got our first subs coming in. Carly Bell is going to come in, as well as Gabby Hudson.
And Morgan Skipper coming in to play the front line. So far, Rivera has done a good job fronting the post, taking away the easy passing lanes.
Mathangani, I tell you, I can tell right away, she is really a nice player.
Yeah, you're going to have to do a better job on the inbound play there. She just kind of cut down the lane. Nobody put a body on her and got it easy, about 10-footer for her second basket of the game.
Rivera puts it on the floor, blocked by Taylor Dupree. I'll talk about the number of block shots Rhodes has just a little bit later when we get a break in the action. Good, strong take there. Avery Marsh on the take. She's going to get fouled. That is going to go against Kamaria Rivera. We've seen her pick up early fouls. You want to try to avoid that.
Yeah, and in a game like today where height could be an issue, Rivera has to stay in. You talked about Taylor Dupree. She's another 6'1" freshman. So you're talking about three people on the front line for Rhodes that are 6 foot or taller. And I'm not sure that the Stormy Petrels have played anybody of that height so far this year.
Well, John, here's what's amazing, and this is really amazing for women's college basketball. And I was a women's college basketball coach for almost a quarter of a century. This team, at this point in the season, has 115 block shots, almost 7 block shots a game, which is unheard of. And that's why when I was doing my prep, I was like, man, I cannot wait to see this team. Rivera with a nice 12-foot jumper off the mark, in and out. Rhodes pushes the ball up the floor. They're looking inside to Dupree. Mathangani on the perimeter. She can knock down the three. Going high-low inside. That is a three. Nice one by Avery Marsh. Knocks it down.
And it's tough because Rhodes right now going almost double post. You've got two different post players down there, and then Mathangani up at the top who could shoot the three. So Oglethorpe really having to scramble on defense. Right now the 2-3 not working the way that they maybe would want to.
Rivera, nice 12-foot baseline jumper's good. A little bit of full court pressure here.
And I think this is a way for the Stormy Petrels to get into the game. You mentioned the turnovers a week ago. Employ pressure, make Rhodes really work to get into their offense.
Nice little dish pass by Gianna Rajakos to Taylor Dupree. You got 3 6-footers on the floor for the Lynx. Doesn't matter. Olivia Tucker drives in and lays it in, cuts the deficit to 3. Skipper just missed the steal there. Mathangani takes it from half court all the way in, left-hand layup. You've got to do more defensively against her right now.
Yeah, and you can see Coach Ritchie going, let's go. He wants to push the pace offensively, I think, and try to get some easy shots before the defense is set for Rhodes.
Carly Bell with a missed 3 from the top of the key. Libby Long's going to take it strong. Olivia Tucker's going to get called, Avery Marsh takes it strong. Olivia Tucker's going to get called for the foul.
We're going to get a timeout on the floor here. There was about to be a mass substitution for Oglethorpe anyway. Again, I think Coach Ritchie's going to try to do whatever he can to try to get this game at the pace that they want it to play at.
You know, it's really interesting looking at Alexis Mathangani. About 8 or 10 years ago, one of the best high school players in the country went to play for the Lady Vols and Pat Summit. And now that I think of it, because Coach Summit's been gone a while, it might be more like 10 or 15 years ago. And she just didn't have a great experience at Tennessee, and it was more off the court. And she transferred to Rhodes, and I think she averaged like 30, 35 points a game. That young lady, I can't remember her name, is now the head coach at Lipscomb University in Nashville. But watching Mathangani, you can see, you know, a lot of people think Division III basketball, oh, that's not really great basketball. It's not the point at all. And you can see this young lady, I can tell you right now, can really play at any level.
Yeah, the fact that at 6'1", she can step out on the three-point line and has confidence to shoot it. The fact that she can block shots and take the ball off the dribble, that is going to be a matchup nightmare. And I wonder if at some point, you know, the 2-3 may have to work because of the size that's out there, but is there a time that you almost go to a junk-type defense, a box and 1, a triangle and 2, something to potentially take away Mathangani?
She's got 6 of their 11 right now, so yeah, you know, as Avery Marsh toes the free throw line, the first to 2, you know, the really elite shooters average over 50% from the floor, over 40% from the arc, and over 90% from the free throw line. Mathangani's not far from that. She's 49% from the floor, over the 40% and 41 from the arc, and then at 79% from the free throw line. So just a great shooter as well.
And they have it right now guarding Michaela Primo. So size and then the speed to go out and defend potentially a point guard.
Turnover there for Rose Delmovic. She's checked into the game. Havika's back in. Great box out by Havika. She's going to draw a foul on Taylor Dupree. I'll tell you what, Maya Havika really did a great job on the box out. Taylor Dupree was going nowhere, and it wasn't a hold. It was just getting a butt into somebody and boxing her out.
Yeah, Mia listed at 5'9", Dupree at 6'1", so a little size mismatch. But that's where that's the effort you absolutely want to see. Hey, we may be undersized a little bit, but we're going to go out and scrap and claw and everything else.
Primo's pass a little off the mark. Rivera couldn't handle it. Wow, late whistle. That's crazy. Avery Marsh missed the shot, came off. Ball was up for grabs on the rebound, and then the whistle blew, and they're going to get Rose Delmovic on that call.
It's about the third or fourth time, though, the defense has not gotten back fast enough and found the offensive player to really take them away. So something that Coach is going to want to work on here in the first quarter. And once again, here we are in the first quarter with a slow start on the offensive side of the ball. Outside of Kamaria Rivera, nobody has really been aggressive getting the shots that they're looking for, and Rhodes is not missing much of anything.
No, they're doing a great job converting. Primo pushes it up the floor. Havika now. Melton's going to take it strong. Rivera on that right baseline. Oaxacos tries to come over. Primo's going to drive, but it's pretty hard for Michaela Primo at 5'4" to go inside those trees. Taylor Dupree and Alexis Mathangani, both 6'1" on either side of her, block it off of Primo, out of bounds. Rhodes has the ball.
Little 2-2-1 pressure here and dropping back into the 2-3 zone.
Oaxacos to Dupree.
Rivera with a nice rebound there, kind of by herself. Got to find some early offense.
Tomovic reverses to Primo.
Rose is one I'd love to see get going. It's been a few games since she really got the 3-shot going.
Thought she was going to knock one down there after you said that.
I was trying to be a soothsayer, and that didn't really work out for me.
Avery Marsh tries to take it into the defense. A steal by Melton. Melton's going to take it strong, pull up from 15, knocks it down. There's that early offense you talked about. You don't allow a team to get help side defense, and especially help side defenders who can block shots when you get early opportunities like that.
Yeah, and a good job there. Michaela Primo's the one that stepped in defensively to really thwart, and there she comes up with a great rebound in amongst the trees.
Got to push it.
That's two great defensive possessions, and Havica going to let one fly.
Didn't mind it.
No.
I'd like to see if we can get her going here. And again, it was an open look early. Mathangani between Primo and Melton kisses it off the glass. 17-8 here, just under 2.5 left in the first quarter. They're back in there. They're still in man-to-man, but you got Mathangani on Primo.
You would think the quickness advantage here would be for Primo, but that's a lot to navigate, trying to get a shot off against a 6'1" defender who can move.
Very nice turnaround. Jump hook from Rivera is nothing but net over Taylor Dupree.
You know, I've been watching Rivera the last couple offensive possessions, imploring her teammates to get her the ball. I think she's up for the challenge going against some young ladies who may have a size advantage over her.
I agree. Great box out by Rivera, allows Melton to come up with the rebound. Domovic pushes it up, trying to cut into that 7-point deficit here in the first quarter. Getting the ball to Rivera, nice input, nice block by Taylor Dupree.
I would have liked to seen Rivera right there go up. She had Dupree on her left shoulder.
She's a little winded right now. I know what you're talking about. Alex Ritchie saw that. He's going to take a timeout. She is a little winded right now. It caused her not to be able to go up with a little bit more power. I'm right with you.
And Coach Ritchie, literally, I could kind of read his lips. He pointed his left shoulder and said, go with the right hand, because at least then you have the body in between yourself and the shot blocker. Maybe you get the foul called. We always talk about when you're going up against a premier shot blocker or a premier shot blocking team, get into the body of them. You get into the body, most times they're going to foul you. There's very few people that are good with that rule of verticality that can go up and block the shots the way that they want. But I will tell you, Taylor Dupree, she is long. She's got some long arms, and she has done a good job. A 6'1" freshman out of Lakeland, Tennessee, Arlington High School, of getting a couple of block shots early on. Rodney
Rogan, the coach with Rhodes, is going to sit Mathangani down here, get a little bit of a breather going into the end of the quarter with 1:20 left on the clock.
Well, this needs to be a time you take advantage of it. Mathangani's got 8. Marsh has 7 early on out of the 19 points so far for the Lynx.
Melton off the mark with Dupree defending her. Rhodes is pushing now. Looking inside to Oaxacos. The 3 is off the mark. Great rebound by Melton. She's going to push. Keep pushing it, Malia. Good strong take. Gets it to Carly Bell. Kicks it out. Skipper for 3 from the left wing. That's her spot. They needed that.
Yeah, and that was great in-out basketball. You have Malia driving in, you get a foul line pass, and then you find Skipper in a corner for a wide-open walk-in 3, and that's exactly what you want out of Morgan.
Yeah, Carly Bell drove, kicked it to Tucker. Tucker to Skipper. That was big. We needed that. Cut the deficit to 6. Rhodes is going inside to Dupree. Her hook is no good. Kirsten C. going over Carly Bell on that rebound. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Got to go here. 21-13. Tucker's going to drive, try to take the runner, no good. Would have liked to see a little bit something better than that, but at least it's a good aggressive take. So the quarter ends 21-13. And again, we talked about last week.
It was 19-10.
So
you shaved 1 point off what the deficit was, but again, defensively, you didn't really get done what you wanted. Offensively, it was really a struggle. Early on, Alexis Mathangani for the Lynx. She's got 8 points. Avery March with 7. For Oglethorpe, it's Malia Melton with 4 and Kamaria Rivera with 4. Skipper with the 3. That was the first one there. But you start to look at some of the things that are going on when it comes to the team. 47% shooting for Rhodes, just 31% for Oglethorpe. Neither team shot the 3 ball very well. 1 of 6 for Rhodes, 1 of 5 for our Stormy Petrels. Here's the big domination. 16 rebounds for the Lynx to just 7 for Oglethorpe. The biggest lead, obviously, 9. 5 blocks in the first period for the Rhodes Lynx, and that's a deterrent. When you start missing shots like that and you start getting shots blocked, it starts going in your head what type of quality shots you want to take. And this is why we keep imploring early offense to get the defense before they're back in set.
Yeah, 3 offensive rebounds for Rhodes, giving them second chance opportunities, which you just cannot give up against a team like this. Gianna Vlahakos is going to inbound at half court. Mathangani back on the floor, joined by Taya Lee, Kirsten C., and Camille Chase running the point for the Lynx. 2-3 zone. They are going to get Vlahakos from knocking Olivia Tucker to the floor. As she cut, she just dropped his shoulder and dropped Olivia Tucker.
Yeah, normally you want to, if you're going to get your money's worth on an offensive foul, you do that, and she absolutely did with the discard there. Valhakos just kind of threw the forearm out and got a call, and Oglethorpe with a chance to cut into this 8-point lead.
A little bit of 2-3 zone with Mathangani up top. Carly Bell's pass to Skipper cutting through off the mark, throws it out of bounds. Turnover goes to Rhodes.
Yeah, and I think there she thought Skipper was going to go to the baseline for a drive. Skipper was going to do kind of a flare cut back outside, and there was some miscommunication.
Pass off the mark. Primo pushes it. Good strong take. Going to draw a blocking foul against Camille Chase. And Primo will go to the line to shoot 2. Good strong take, early offense.
And we hope Michaela's okay. She landed, I think, on the hip area and is limping just a little bit, kind of taking some deep breaths there. But again, early offense is what you want. You get them back on their heels, and now you're getting an opportunity here to shoot a couple of free throws and cut into this lead.
Kayla Primo knocks down the first one. Came into this game 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Getting a little bit more comfortable. Remember, folks, she joined us coming out of the Christmas break. Primo knocks down her second. She's going to get a breather. She is hobbled. She drew that blocking call, and it kind of knocked her sideways. She was trying to step around the defender, and it knocked her right onto the hip. Full court 2-2-1. They hit Mathangani on the cut. She gets it to Taya Lee. Lee's turnaround is off the glass, but it's tipped around. Gabby Hudson couldn't corral the rebound. Mathangani got it off the glass and laid it in.
Yeah, Gabby had it, and Lee was able to kind of tip it from behind. And when things are going your way, they got the kick right to their best player in Mathangani, who was able to lay it in uncontested.
Rivera takes it baseline, reverses back, and lays it in over Mathangani. The deficit's only 6.
You would think Rhodes has played a really good game early on, and Oglethorpe has sort of weathered the storm, no pun intended, to keep this game closer than maybe what you would see if you're kind of watching here on the Oglethorpe Sports Network.
Yeah, I would agree completely, John. Libby Long is going to take a 3, but the whistle blows. Taya Lee never came out of the paint. 3-second call. Malia Melton's going to check in for Gabby Hudson. Alex Ritchie grabs his whiteboard. I think he's going to show her something on how to defend low in that zone, probably.
And they've almost got a high-low defense on Kamaria Rivera right now. This is one where Morgan Skipper might be able to get a corner 3.
Elbow jumper goes to Rivera. That's a shot she's very comfortable with, and Rodney Rogers, their coach, Rodney Rogan, has seen enough as Oglethorpe has cut the deficit to 4. they've got some great looks and they've converted. And Rogan says, I need to take a break here and get my team recalibrated.
Yeah, you wonder if Kamaria took this one personal. She had 9 points in the previous matchup. I believe only had 8 field goal attempts. She's already got 8 points, and we've got 8 minutes to go here in the second period. So she's been a lot more aggressive. I think that 2-minute blow that she was able to get, and now you get a timeout where you potentially can get another 2 minutes, going to be really important because Rhodes continues to throw bodies at her, but she has done a great job taking advantage, doing exactly what you need to have happen.
And, you know, sometimes coming into a basketball game, you're really hyped and you
Yep.
go hard through warm-ups and you get in about 5 minutes into the game and you're winded. You're like, holy cow. But then that second time, you get that quick breather and come in, and it's a whole different level, and we've seen that from Rivera here in the second.
That is such a great point. You know, we think about our athletes. We, as coaches, and you've coached, and, you know, I coach at the AAU level, and we do a lot to motivate our kids and get them fired up. There are sometimes, though, they can burn themselves out the 20 minutes, 30 minutes before the game, and you've got to find that delicate balance of being fired up, ready to play, and then actually giving your best when the whistle blows.
Well, the mental fuels the physical, and if you're just really charged up, it can run your battery down. You got to replenish it. The Lynx, Avery Marsh up top, gets it to Mathangani against that 2-3 zone. Kirsten C is way off the mark. Unfortunately, Morgan Skipper was on the back side of that and just watched the ball, didn't go for it, and could ill afford to give up an easy offensive rebound and put back, and she did.
Maybe the worst thing sometimes as a defender is the air ball, because you're anticipating the ball hitting the rim and ricocheting a certain way, and then it hits nothing.
Skipper going for the block, lands on top of Avery Marsh. I tell you, the 5'7" freshman out of Little Rock, Arkansas, she came in averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds. But boy, she's been impressive here. Scores, gets fouled. Now she's going to try to convert the old-fashioned three-point play.
Yeah, and that's one that you're going to talk to Morgan and say, look, you're already up in the air. If you're going to get the foul, don't let her get the ball up for the chance at the three-point play.
She does check out, had a couple bad possessions there, gave up an easy offensive rebound and putback, then draws the foul. That three-point play is converted. It takes the deficit up to 9 again after cutting it to 4. Carly Bell to Rivera for 3 and off the mark. Melton battles for the rebound. It did hit the end line. It's going to be Rhodes' ball.
I think that's the first 3 I've seen Kamaria attempt at least the games that we've had here at home. That's the first time I've seen her step out that far just off the front rim. Obviously a nice touch and can knock that down if they're given the opportunity.
Yeah, it's only her 4th 3 of the year. She's missed them all, but she's an infrequent visitor to outside the arc. Libby Long isn't. She puts up a 3, gets the shooter's roll as it hit the rim about 3 times. Alex Ritchie saying it hit the shot clock, but no call, and she's given the 3. Melton to Rivera. Rivera's 15-foot baseline jumpers off the mark. Libby Long with the rebound, and here come the Lynx. That's the advantage of having a teammate who's a 6'1" guard with long arms. Libby Long just threw it over top the zone. Mathangani catches it and knocks it down. Melton hits a 3. That's a nice look. That's her first 3 of the year in only 5 attempts.
And boy, did we need that one.
Mathangani with the drive. Good dish to tie a lead. They're going to call Olivia Tucker. She doesn't agree, but
I'm not mad at that one at all. Rivera's already got 1 foul. You can ill afford to have her pick up a second and have to sit, and you did not allow Lee to get the shot up on the rim. You're going to get the foul, go ahead and get the foul and make her earn it at the free throw line.
Well, we were a little worried about Michaela Primo, who looked like she was shaken up earlier in the game when she drew a blocking call. She does check back in, didn't look like she was gimpy, so that's a good thing. She goes in for Tucker. I think that was Tucker's 2nd foul. Taya Lee with the free throw. Bangs around and out. Lee comes in as a 57% free throw shooter.
Yeah, that was Tucker's 2nd foul. Only person so far with 2 fouls for the Stormy Petrels.
Lee's 2nd one gets the roll and goes. And We're going to see Taylor Dupree check back into the game for Taya Lee.
This is like watching old Georgetown when they had Mutombo and Mourning. You roll out one shot blocker for another shot blocker.
They're going to go man-to-man. They're going to put Dupree on Rivera. They've got Mafengani on Milton. Staggered screen brings Carly Bell to the top. She's not open. Primo looking inside. Rivera with a good, strong take. Misses that one. Avery Marsh brings it up. Gets it to Taylor Dupree at the free throw line. And that is a travel and a turnover for Rhodes. Quickly up to a 12-point lead now for Rhodes. Need some quality offensive possessions.
Yeah, and I think this is a real important 5 minutes. Try to get this under double digits, maybe down to about 6. You can ill afford to allow Rhodes to really extend it all. It looks like Kamaria a little bit winded, trying to take shots, being defended by 3 or 4 different people, something that she's not used to have happen.
Well, the ball stolen from her there, but Rose Delmovich started to make a cut and then stopped, and so her defender just stopped and ripped the ball away from Rivera. Got to get away. Spacing's got to be better. And Alexis Mafengani knocks down a 17-foot baseline jumper.
I'd say she's the best woman we've seen here at the Duro Fieldhouse.
No doubt.
I mean, she has just got a very smooth basketball game.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, coached for 25 years at every level, including Division I, and she's definitely could play at least at the mid-major Division I level, and really, truly is a 6'1" guard. Carly Bell, good strong take, pulls up the left block, knocks it down, and draws the foul from Avery Marsh. Love that. Hopefully that'll get Carly going.
We have seen Carly, as she's recovered from the ACL injury, get more and more comfortable throughout the time. She's not tentative anymore. She is wearing a fairly large knee brace on the right knee. Both ankles are braced up very well, but she's a trooper. She's out there playing really hard and doing a good job, and you love to see her rewarded with the hoop and the harm.
She's got great scoring ability, and it just takes some time coming back from that ACL, and it's good to see her there and love to see her get it going here tonight. Again, that pressure just slowing the tempo from Rhodes. They throw over the top, though. Mafengani in a 2-on-1 is going to lay up. They're going to say Kamaria Rivera got her in the head on that drive. That's going to be her second foul, I believe.
Yeah, now you're probably going to have to see Kamaria come out. And I'm looking to see down on the bench who Coach Ritchie is calling in, and he is. Looks like Domovich going to come back in.
He's going to go small here. He'll have Skipper play the 5, and there'll be more 5 out, which I think could be advantageous, especially with the 3 6-footers on the floor in Dupree, Mafengani, and Vlahakos. Mafengani off the mark there.
But here's where you have to be box out, defensive principles, cut off the driving lanes because you don't have a lot of size. As a matter of fact, you have no size on the floor as opposed to the links.
Yeah, Morgan Skipper at 5'10", the tallest Stormy Petral on the floor. But use your speed and your quickness to your advantage. Here's where they have a quickness advantage. Hudson tries to take, but again, that gap defense is really strong. Primo's going to pull up at the free throw line and knock down the jumper over the 6'1" Vlahakos.
And if you watch Virginia play in the men's game, the pack line defense is basically, it's almost daring you to shoot. As they're going to drop down and just take away. And that's what Rhodes has been doing on the defensive side of the ball.
Really nice post move by Taylor Dupree. Head, shoulder, fake over the left shoulder, and then came back and laid it in over the right shoulder. Lead back to 10 for Rhodes. Hudson at the top. Little inside stagger gets it to Morgan Skipper. Skipper's going to go over top Dupree. Lays it in and good.
And just a little hesitation fake there by Morgan to get the defender off balance just a hair, and then nice strong finish with the right hand. I think it's one of the first times I've seen Morgan down on the block really get the ball in a post position and then use a post move to get a layup, which was really nice.
Rodney Rogan, coach for Rhodes, is going to match size and go a little bit smaller. He pulls the 6'1" Taylor Dupree off the floor and brings in Camille Chase, a 5'6" freshman guard. Chase there with the ball. Avery Marsh thought about it. Libby Long doesn't have to think she's going to pull the 3, but off the mark. Offensive rebound from Camille Chase. High-low pass from Vlahakos to a cutting Avery Marsh is deflected out of bounds nicely. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Just over 3 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, that was a good job there with Olivia Tucker, Carly Bell with a nice play down defensively to deflect that ball away. And this, again, where you're going to have to use speed and everything else to try to come up with defensive stops.
Mathangani deflected by Domovic on the entry pass. 3 is off the mark. Again, a poke on the offensive rebound by Libby Long, and Rhodes gets a fresh clock.
It's a lot to ask for Skipper and everybody else, but you have to rebound as a team, and Morgan does a great job snatching that one away.
And with 2 hands, and you have to rebound with 2 hands when you're a smaller defender. They got that one. Hudson with the drive, goes to Skipper. Skipper is going to lay it over Vlahakos. Good inside take there. You can see she's not intimidated at all by the size.
Not one bit. When you play basketball in the metro Atlanta area, you're going to go against some studs, and Morgan's showing not only can she knock down the 3, as we've talked about throughout the time here on the broadcast, but now finding a different part of her game. And this could be something, Coach Ritchie, you hate to say fouls could help out, maybe discovering something about a player, but Morgan having to play in that pivot spot has done a good job.
Mia Havica and Malia Melton checked in for Rose Domovic and Carly Bell. Carly getting her win back. Coach Ritchie doing a nice job playing her in 2-3 minute spurts. Skipper knocks them both down, and that cuts the margin to 6. So to your point, we said those final 5 minutes were going to be critical. Melton with the deflection almost came up with the steal on that pass.
And it's Coach Ritchie has almost dictated the way this is going to be played, because Rhodes has gone small, which I'm not sure that they want to do with the size advantage they have.
No doubt. And then that 2-2-1 is controlled tempo. They're in that 2-3 zone. Mathangani trying to get a steal on the inside, but the drive and dish. And a good rebound in traffic again from Morgan Skipper. She wisely pulls it back out. Melton now. Really good gap defense by Rhodes, not allowing penetration to the glass.
I thought Morgan was going to go coast to coast with that one. She had that look in her eye, but again, wisely pulled it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Got to kind of get some motion going here.
Melton looking for help, dishes. Hudson from the left baseline, gets the roller to go in, cuts it to a 4-point deficit. Cross-court pass. Rhodes gets it over the half-court line. Under a minute and a half left in the first half. 4-point game. Deflection from Havica. Stormy Petrel's come up with it. They can cut into it some more. Primo drives, scores. 2-point game.
And that's Michaela Primo at her best, using speed and penetration and no fear. 5'4", I'm going in there and I'm taking the shot.
Could have been over and back there, no call. When a player comes from the backcourt, you have to establish 2 feet. She didn't, they didn't call it. They get the ball inside to Vlahakos. The Stormy Petrels come up with the rebound. Coach Ritchie imploring his team to push it down the floor. Skipper looked and thought about a 3. She's going to drive now against Mathangani. Lays it in, draws the foul, ties it up at 39.
And Morgan Skipper, not necessarily trash talking, but she gave the and one call. Left-handed with the drive. Morgan is playing maybe the best game we've seen her play all year long, and she's had some good games, but this is aggressiveness. And again, foul trouble sometimes allows other people to get into positions they're normally not in, and Morgan Skipper's doing exactly that.
Well, she eyed the 3-point shot on the closeout. She felt like she could blow by. She misses the free throw, but we got a tie ball game. Half a minute left in the first half. Avery Marsh with the ball. Mathangani driving left. Left hand, no good. Melton with the ball. She's going to push it. Had an opening. Kicks it to Skipper. Skipper cross court to Havica. Skipper's thinking about a 3 again. Melton's runner on the baseline. They're going to call a charge. Kirsten C.
And you can hear Coach Ritchie yelling. There were 30 seconds. He did not want that ball shot with 11.5 to go. And I like the idea, Malia going baseline, unfortunately a hair out of control, and now you just want to try to get this stop and keep this game tied before the end of the half.
Mathangani drives all the way down the floor, and Malia Melton's going to draw the charging call. Beautiful. Mathangani's been going hard with her left hand to the glass time and time again. Malia knew it, got set, drew the charge. 4.4 seconds left.
Malia, you remember the nesty fall where you kind of, that's what Malia did. She had both arms crossed, and you're going to have some substitution here trying to get this last shot up.
Three-point shooter Primo's going to push it. She's got to give it up. But she doesn't, and she buries a three.
And you love the celebration. I know it's only halftime, but Kayla, like they did in the second period.
Well, Melton and Skipper are long, and they're very athletic. Rhodes is now in a 2-3 zone again. Primo and Tucker out on the perimeter. Melton in the high post. Skipper out on that right wing. Rivera at the elbow off the mark, rebounded by Avery Marsh.
I think that's the first time the Lynx have gone to a 2-3, like a full 2-3 zone.
And right away, Alexis Mathangani pulls up for a free throw line jumper and knocks it down. Cuts the margin to 1. The Stormy Petrels up 42-41. I think you're right. It is really a true 2-3 zone. No matchup qualities to it. Tucker kicks it to Rivera. Rivera from 17 feet knocks it down. Like that start right there.
Yeah, and it, like I said, Kamaria has taken this game very personally. No hesitation pulling the trigger. She's taken the first 2 shots already in the second half.
Avery Marsh, she had a great first half. They get it inside to Mathangani. Skipper all over her. Good job defensively. Rivera can't come up with the rebound. She's tied up by Taya Lee. Jump ball will be Rhodes ball inbound under. I
think Lee thought she got an and one call. She was walking towards the foul line and then realized it was a jump ball.
Lee sets a good screen for Libby Long. Her three's off the mark. Rivera could not come up with the rebound. Looks like Tucker got hurt there. Don't know, banged up a finger. Don't know if it didn't look like it was dislocated, but she immediately was in pain. Primo at the top, Tucker on the wing, Skipper on the wing. Rivera and Melton working high-low game. They get it to Melton. She looks inside to Rivera. Now she takes it. It's slapped away by Kirsten C. Avery Marsh takes it right into the paint for an easy 8-foot jumper.
Yeah, Marsh is really impressive as well. Didn't have the advanced billing of Mathangani, but she has played a really, really good floor game.
Mia Havica drives, kicks to Rivera. Her baseline jumper's good. Oglethorpe back on top, 46-45.
I just love Rivera. You score on one end, and she kind of lost the defensive rebound. Comes right back, no problem. 15-foot jumper, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Rhodes setting it up. Tucker on the closeout, no good. Rivera comes up with the rebound, pulls it away. I tell you what, you talked about using a lot of energy to come back. Malia Melton really looked spent.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Ritchie, I thought somebody just came to the table. They might be coming to get her. Tucker, ill-advised, tries to go over Taya Lee. It's blocked right back at her. Oglethorpe looking inside to Rivera. Skipper is going to take a three. Way off the mark on that one. Rhodes is definitely pushing the ball quickly. Mathangani with the easy layup. Not very good transition defense. Rhodes goes back up 1. Carly Bell goes to the table to check in.
Yeah, Skipper was up against the shot clock on the previous one, but I don't need a side dribble three-pointer.
Nice. Rivera baseline drive, kicks to Melton. Melton is off the mark, but the rebound goes off of Taya Lee's hands out of bounds. It's going to be Oglethorpe ball under. Carly Bell, Mia Havica, Rose Delmovich checks in. Tucker will stay at the point guard spot.
I think we have 6 on the floor right now. I think that's illegal. We did have 6 on the floor, and Coach Ritchie's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, that was part of that's the officials too. You've got to be counting as players come in. Be interesting to see who comes out. I think Melton is going to come out. She definitely looked spent there in the first couple minutes. We talked about that earlier. Sometimes you get really hyped at the start of a ball game, and then you got to get a blow to kind of recharge.
Well, and the same thing, they went into halftime like as amped up as you've seen them all year long after the Michaela Primo 3 to end the half and give them the lead. You do have to go in there and just say, look, it's only halftime. You haven't won the game yet. It was a great comeback to take the lead. Now let's go back and execute. And it looks like Coach Ritchie also going back to the smaller lineup that really got them back into the game. Yeah. See if he can force the Lynx to go back to a small lineup, which gives Oglethorpe an advantage.
Well, definitely defensive, very scrappy on the defensive end, and then you've got great three-point shooters in with Havica, Domovich, and Bell joining Tucker. So some good three-point shooters. Rivera will be in the inside. We'll see if that small lineup will help them here and force Rhodes to adjust again like they did earlier when we went small.
Now, remember when that small lineup, Rivera was out. But if you've noticed, now they do still have two of their 6-footers on the floor, and Mathangani, and they have their big shot blocker Dupree in there.
Ball was tipped by Mathangani, so it's not over and back. Oglethorpe reversing the ball, really working the ball around the perimeter, trying to get some open three-point looks, driving into gaps and kicking. Carly Bell getting into a gap. Tucker will take a three because of the shot clock. She's off the mark. Ball goes off Lahako's leg, but Mathangani is going to pick it up and travel.
I was wondering if the official was going to call it. She kind of drug her foot there as she was trying to pick up the ball. And if you notice right here, the Lynx have gone back to man-to-man defense.
They have size, so again, Oglethorpe can space and look to take advantage with some drives and kicks. Tucker, not a great three-point shooter. He's got to try to look to penetrate gaps. They're going to get it inside to Domovich. Her pass off the mark, but they get Bell with an open three just off the iron. No good. Taylor Dupree with the rebound. Mathangani having a hard time controlling the basketball. She gets it to Vlahakos, who says, okay, let's just calm down here and get things set up.
A lot sloppier third period than we had there in the second, where Oglethorpe had the offense clicking like a Ferrari.
Avery Marsh off the mark. Vlahakos, Rose Domovich doing everything she could to block out the 6'1" Vlahakos, a freshman out of Houston, Texas.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup for Rose down there on the block where she normally doesn't play. And this is one where the Lynx have said, we're just going to stay big and make you defend our bigs.
And again, maybe some players who aren't used to playing down low, and Vlahakos comes wide open on a basket cut, and she gets fouled by Gabby Hudson, and Vlahakos will go to the line. Rhodes now in the lead again, up one. The left-handed Vlahakos is off the mark. She comes in as only a 43% free throw shooter, so they definitely need to box out and anticipate a miss here. Second one is going to rattle in, and they go up two. Hudson, Tucker, Havica, Domovich, Rivera. Good drive. She's going to draw the foul from Avery Marsh.
And that's a good job there by Olivia to just kind of put her head down. She got a little brush screen right there at the free throw line by Kamaria and said, I'm going to go to the hole and see if I can draw two. And it's worked. She'll have a chance to tie the ball game up here.
Kayla Primo and Malia Melton back at the table, as well as Morgan Skipper. Tucker's off the mark on her free throw. Very good free throw shooter, 14 of 16 on the year. Again, this is her 9th game. She misses both of them. Wonder if her fingers bother her. Remember, she got hurt about a minute and a half ago on her shooting hand. Mathangani takes it to Rivera. Rivera is going to pick up the foul call. That is her third. They were really scrambling around. It looked like Rhodes kind of had the Oglethorpe defense out of sorts, and they got the ball to a wide open Mathangani on the block. Rivera had to hustle over and bumped her. Malia Melton's going to check back in.
So it's Michaela Primo and Morgan Skipper. Good foul. You hate it because Rivera now has 3, but Mathangani misses the first free throw, keeps it a 2-point game.
Well, this is where a Morgan Skipper or a Malia Melton are going to really have to. And again, this tall, long Taylor Dupree tips the offensive rebound. Rhodes gets another chance. And finally, Morgan Skipper tips this one. Havica comes up with it.
That was one I thought we could have got over and back on Dupree.
Hudson's runner is no good.
Coach Ritchie was mad at that one. Michaela was over on the right side of the floor and missed both Skipper and Hudson wide open on the left side of the floor until it was too late.
They need to be scrappy and have active hands. Dupree again just going over the back of a boxing out Stormy Petrel and uses her length to tip balls even if she can't come up with the rebound. Now that one's tied up. It's going to be Oglethorpe ball going down. So kind of a slow start. There was a lot of energy there in the second period, 29-18, 47 points combined, and only 8-4 here.
And 9-4, so
9-4,
13 points about halfway through, and the Stormy Petrels have not found any type of offensive rhythm. What they were doing there in that second period was getting the press, getting turnovers, getting out on the break, and right now it's been slow and choppy. I think the 2-3 zone for the Lynx early on really got them to slow down the way that they wanted to go, and they've taken a couple of ill-advised shots here as the shooting percentage now coming down for the Stormy Petrels. They shot 73% in the second period, just 22% here in the third.
Yeah, you know, that 2-3 zone with the length that Rhodes has reminds us of Syracuse and Jim Boeheim, who has just locked in on that 2-3 zone with long defenders like Rhodes has. Rodney Rogan, the coach for Rhodes, probably thinking about that because Taylor Dupree at 6'1", Alexis Mathangani at 6'1". Now they have gone a little bit smaller here, putting Kirsten C. back on the floor with Camille Chase. Avery Marsh moving down to the 3 spot at 5'7".
This is one where I think Malia has an opportunity for the blow-by. If you can get to the rim and get a good shot. Unfortunately, trying to shoot a fadeaway over a 6'1" shot blocker is not going to work.
Well, you said that earlier. I always used to teach my players about boxing. If you're going against somebody with a long reach, don't get out there where you get pelted. Get inside the reach, and you've got to get inside of a shot blocker like that. Kayla off the mark from 18, but Malia Melton with the rebound. The Stormy Petrels will set it up. Only down 2.
And again, this third period feels like they should be down double digits, but have done just enough.
Malia Melton trying to create something, and she does there as she's fouled by, they're going to call Mathangani for it. That is her third. So we'll see what Rodney Rogan does, if he keeps her on the floor or not.
Man, it's 3 on her, 2 on Marsh, 2 on Valhaco. So interesting with Rivera out. If they take Mathangani out, that is advantage Stormy Petrels. That's 3 straight missed free throws for the Stormy Petrels in a 2-point game.
Malia Melton a little quick there, kind of flicking that shot. She's got to slow down, hold her finish. Much better form there, and it is true to the mark. 48-47, Oglethorpe is down. They're back in that 2-2-1 full court, 3/4 court pressure. Kirsten C. and Avery Marsh doing a nice job breaking that pressure and bringing it down the floor.
But again, it took them 10 seconds to really get into an offense, which is exactly what you want. Look at Gabby Hudson down low, just fighting with a player about 7 inches taller than her.
Doing a really nice job defensively right now. Shot clock running down. Marsh is going to take it, throw one up, air ball, and there was a whistle. It hit the end line on the shot. So the air ball, good defense, and as you said, Gabby Hudson doing a really nice job going against a much taller Taylor Dupree. Oglethorpe will bring it up, down 1, just outside the 3-minute mark of the third quarter.
Yeah, I thought Hudson was going to be called for stepping out of bounds. It would have been a shot clock violation either way. She was trying to get out on the break.
Gotta be sharp with your passes. Primo's pass almost knocked away. Backdoor cut, pass by Melton. Havica walked, caught it, took an extra step. In a game against a better team like this, we've said it over and over at times, you cannot have wasted possessions. You can't turn it over Can't miss free throws. Those are things we've seen here early.
And that's, again, Havica, a really good three-point shooter. Great block there by Morgan Skipper.
I thought that was coming. Great backside help. Malia trying to take it strong. That's as far as she's been getting. Kicks it to Hudson from the left baseline, no good, off the mark. They are going to call Kirsten C on that as Michaela Primo was boxing her out.
And it's a bit tough for Malia. Malia's done a really good job over the last month or so, putting her head down, getting to the rim and getting contact and hitting layups. Now all of a sudden she's going into a 6'1" Dupree, and you can see it's playing on her mind a little bit where she's thinking instead of reacting going to the basket.
Carly Bell gets it on the entry. Michaela Primo from 18 knocks it down.
And I like that. Michaela had a three. You mentioned she's only hit one, and that was at the end of the half here, and said, you know what, I'm a little more comfortable taking a step in and shooting a nice wide open jumper.
And rhythm up off the bounce. They take the lead at 49-48. Runner no good. Mathangani pokes it to a teammate. Kirsten C. puts it up and gets fouled.
I'll call the foul on Gabby Hudson on the arm. They have basically, when Mathangani's underneath the basket, Hudson and Melton are just draped all over. They're basically double teaming her. Even though it's a 2-3 zone, they're not giving her any open looks. Probably the best thing you can do. Mathangani 9 of 17 from the floor so far, leading the way for the Lynx. She's played 27 minutes basically the entire game. Marsh has played 26, and everybody else has kind of rotated around those two.
Well, and you got to give the Stormy Peaches a lot of credit. Much smaller, they are really boxing out. But Taylor Dupree and Mathangani especially are using their long, long arms to tip the ball to teammates. So they're not coming up with offensive rebounds, but they're keeping the ball alive and tipping it to teammates. 50-49, Rhodes leads, just inside 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Somebody's going to have to step up and provide some scoring punch for Oglethorpe. Olivia Tucker called for a travel. She's incredulous, but it did look like she took 3 or 4 steps off the spin.
Yeah, the spin was good. It was the finish where she may have drugged the pivot foot.
Boy, that's unfortunate. Ball loose on the floor. Morgan Skipper couldn't come up with it. Rose Delmovich went down to get it and got called for the hold on the arm, and the Lynx are in the bonus. So from here on out this quarter, they're going to get 2 shots. Avery Marsh will go to the free throw line. Marsh is a 77% free throw shooter.
Right now, neither team great from the stripe. The Lynx just 10 of 17, 58%. So while we're missing our free throws, they are as well. And that's the reverse announcer's jinx. 6 of 10 for the Stormy Petrels so far. So neither team, they're both shooting at Shaquille O'Neal percentages right now.
You and I are doing everything we can to defend the free throw line for Oglethorpe. Marsh's second one is pure. 2-point lead, 51-49, 140 left in the third quarter. Olivia Tucker brings it up. They're going to go man-to-man now. Delmovich off the drive. Melton's going to look at a 3. She's short on that. Delmovich with a nice try to get the ball back in bounds, but it hit the end line. Gabby Hudson's going to come back into the game for Morgan Skipper. Skipper, we talked about Skipper coming out of the locker room with maybe 10 seconds left. She was in there the whole halftime.
Right.
She does not look like herself. She looks like maybe she's not feeling well.
Yeah, and she played such a great second period. Again, you wonder if she used a lot of that energy.
Really nice job breaking the pressure, but the layup is off the mark. Malia Melton rips the rebound away from Mathangani. Melton on the take. Kicks it. I thought she had Havica early for a 3. Melton's going to drive against man pressure. She's got Avery Marsh on her, easier than Taylor Dupree. Misses, comes up with the rebound, goes onto the floor. Marsh comes up with it, and Mathangani now gets it to Marsh, and the Rhodes Lynx come down up 2.
They have not been able to get that 4th foul on Mathangani.
Mathangani's 3 is short. And even though Kirsten C. tried to come up with it, the ball hit the end line. It's going to be Oglethorpe ball, 41.6 seconds left. Carly Bell checking back in. A little bit of offense-defense action. Morgan Skipper's going to check back in as well. Gabby Hudson and Malia Melton's going to come out. Melton needs a blow, no doubt. He'll use the last 40 seconds of this and the break. Matangani's going to get a breather as well. Good job by Rodney Rogan not allowing his star player to pick up her 4th foul here in the closing seconds of the 3rd.
I'd like to find Morgan Skipper right here.
Take it. Boom. Off the mark.
Tried to get a 2-for-1 there. Not unless the Lynx rush for a shot. They can settle and take the last shot. Shot clock and game clock almost identical. As a matter of fact, I think they could turn the shot clock off, and they just did.
Rodney Rogan's squad's going to hold it for that last shot here. Up 51-49. Avery Marsh with the ball against the 2-3 zone. Libby Long gets the screen. They get the ball to their 3-point shooter Long. She's well off the mark. Skipper gets the defensive rebound. And so after a halftime score of 42-39, Rhodes comes back and takes the lead, 51-49. Not a very high-scoring quarter.
No, not good at all. It was a 12-7 quarter. The Lynx shot better in the 3rd period to take the lead. But here's what you looked like in the 3rd period. You talk about not shooting well. Lynx 4-17 from the floor, 0 of 5 from the 3-point line. Stormy Petrel's just 3 of 16. That's 18%. That's not even good in baseball. 0 of 6 from the 3-point line. Stormy Petrel's just 1 of 4 from the free throw line, while the Lynx were 4 for 8. So I'll call it what it is. That was an abysmal shooting period for both teams. Part of it, I think, was good defense. I think part of it, both teams put out so much effort in that first half, they just seemed a little bit gassed. Now, the good thing for Coach Ritchie, although you didn't want Camaria Rivera to get a blow, she basically got about 6 minutes of game time sitting out, probably about 15 minutes of actual time. She's going to come back on the floor. Morgan Skipper, Malia Melton, who got a few minutes blow right now. So let's see if the original starting 5, but Morgan Skipper in instead of Mia Havica, can really spark a rally here in the 4th period.
2-3 zone from Oglethorpe, and I agree with you 100%. I think both teams ran out of a lot of fuel in that very hectic 2nd quarter. C on the drive into the gap. Primo with good defense. Taya Lee battling on the boards. Melton tries to come up with it, can't. Matangani's going right at Rivera. Rivera's got to stay straight up and down. Matangani knocks it down, 4-point lead for Rhodes.
Yeah, and here's the difference. Matangani is able to play up top, and they're back in this 2-3 zone where Rivera can attack her and get her into her 2nd foul. That's a great pass from Rivera, though, to Malia Melton, who's going to get rewarded with a couple of free throws.
Yeah, they worked so well inside, and I think Rivera is a classic stretch 4 in a high-low game. Of course, the Stormy Petrels lost their true 5 player in Ellie Ronan early with a foot injury or an ankle injury, and Rivera's been forced to play the 5, and Melton and Skipper playing the 4. But that was a great pass. Lajakos picks up the foul. Melton will go to the line for 2. Now she's got to take her time and knock them both down. As we've said time and time again, she gets the roll, thankfully, but time and time again, when you're down, score when the clock stopped, and that's from the free throw line.
I'm looking across. There's 8 gentlemen sitting front row. I'm going to assume that's the Oglethorpe lacrosse players. We've got one guy with a big ice pack, and they look like they could play football. I know they don't play football here, so that must be the Stormy Petrels lacrosse team, and they're in here to cheer on their young women.
Primo doing a good job defensively. Avery Marsh setting the table. Libby Long on the right wing. She's a good 3-point shooter for them. C with the ball going inside to Matangani. Primo tried to deflect the ball, but Matangani gets it to Taya Lee inside. They are going right at Rivera. Coach Rogan and everybody else in the gym knows they're going to try to pick up the 4th foul. Olivia Tucker for 3 from the left wing. We needed something, and she gave it to us.
And that was one where they were doubling Camaria again down low, and Olivia said, fine, I'll take the 3, and she held it up there. Beautiful shot, and knocks it down to cut it to 1.
Again, a little bit of half-court trap, forcing Rhodes to scramble, eating up a little bit of the shot clock. 10 seconds on the shot clock now against that 2-3 zone. Melton watching Matangani. Taya Lee posting up Rivera. And Kirsten C. buries a three-pointer to answer that, to go up 4. And timeout called. Rhodes leads 58-54, so definitely more offensive activity and better shooting here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and nothing against Kirsten C., who averages about 5 points a game. I think Coach Ritchie can live with that. Unfortunately, the ball goes through the basket, but I think you'd rather her shoot the three than that ball get back to Mathangani or obviously to Avery Marsh, who's had a great game as well. Either way, Stormy Petrels are back in it. Taking a look at your leaders right now, Kamaria still leading the way for us with 14, Michaela Primo with 11, Malia Melton's got 10, and Morgan Skipper has not scored in the second half. She's got 9. Malia leading the way on the board. She's got 8. Mathangani, 21. Avery Marsh with 15, and Kirsten C. with that three-pointer now has 9 points on the game.
Well, to your point about the zone, the way they're playing the zone, really defending and in some cases double teaming Mathangani, it's not like they have exceptional three-point shooters.
Right.
You got to pick your poison, and I'm with you. Nothing against Kirsten C., but I'm going to let Kirsten C. beat me, not Alexis Mathangani.
4-point lead right now. Same lineup staying on the floor. I think Coach Ritchie's going to go with this group as long as physically they can. I think there'll be some times Havika comes back in. Maybe sometimes Domovic comes off the bench, but this group here, now it's back to man-to-man. I'm getting the ball to Kamaria Rivera immediately and trying to draw the fourth foul on Mathangani.
Primo looking inside again to Rivera. Thought she gave it up a little quick, sitting in the gap. Now see, the reason I like that side is Skipper, if they're going to double off of her, she gives you that three-point shooting. Tucker gets the rebound, finally called. The two officials right in front of it are not even going to call it. Finally called on Alexis Mathangani. John, how many is that?
And I believe that's going to be, and it is the fourth foul on Mathangani. They're leaving her in the game.
Yeah, Coach Rodney Rogan just let her know that's 4. Now you got to go right at her. Rivera's got to go up. You got to go right earlier. Don't hesitate. Don't get out of rhythm. Go right into a shot. If she blocks it, great. If you get the call, she's out of here. Taylor Dupree now going at Rivera, misses. Unfortunately, Melton brought the ball down into her lap. C with a little bit of a push, a little bit of extracurricular activity. It's going to be Oglethorpe ball.
You could hear the crowd not reacting too well to that as Malia Melton went flying out of bounds after the push, but the possession arrow stays with the Stormy Petrels. You're right, though. Kamaria's got to get this, almost dip a shoulder and beg the referee to call a foul and see if Mathangani ends up fouling out.
I like the ball on the right side because if Avery Marsh leaves Skipper to help Mathangani, you're going to leave Skipper open for 3. 1-4 high set. Tucker's going to look, come to the top. She's going to go to Rivera. Rivera's going to take it strong. Gets the step through. She needed to go right up on that.
She had Mathangani in the air as well. That's the old Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler. You get him in the air and just throw that shot up and, again, invite the foul call.
Yeah, she's just got to be a little bit more aggressive on that. They're just at the moment of action, she just gets hesitant. Tucker with really good defense.
You can tell the intensity of this game has absolutely picked up.
Well, we said if Kirsten C's going to beat you, you got to let her. She just buried her second 3. They go up 7 here.
Yeah, now I cannot allow her to shoot again because she's hit back-to-back, and they have been as pure as they come.
Michaela Primo has become a different player tonight. She buries her second 3 of the game, second 3 of the year in the 7 games that she's played.
Yeah, and it was no hesitation. She tried to get the ball to Kamaria down on the post and said, all right, you're going to back off of me. I'm going to shoot it with confidence.
Under 6 minutes now left in the game, 4-point game. Marsh up top gets it to C. C's going to pump, take it in, get it out to Libby Long, who can hit the 3. She shoots an air ball instead. Oglethorpe gets a needed stop, down 4.
Let's see what Michaela Primo has planned. She went back to the electric blue shoes. We always talk about her footwear because she's got a really good shoe game, and I think I keep those on Sunday as well, the way she's playing tonight.
Like to see a little bit more movement on and off the ball by Oglethorpe. They do get that one to go, kisses it off the glass. It's a 2-point game, but there's a lot of slow offensive movement. I think you have a better chance of getting Mathangani in trouble if you have to make her to react quickly.
It almost looks like they're hunting the foul right now, and you don't need to do that.
Exactly right, John. That's a great way of saying it. They just got her for her 5th foul, I think.
Well, they're going to call that on 11.
They're going to call Libby Long on that. I thought they got Mathangani off the ball. They're going to call Libby Long. It's a 2-point game, Oglethorpe ball. Carly Bell checks in for Morgan Skipper, gives them a little bit of 3-point offensive action. Again, she goes to that right side. Would not surprise me to see Rivera go to that block here.
And they've taken Mathangani off of Rivera. Looks like they're back in this. Nope, they're in a matchup zone of some sort. Dupree now in man-to-man picking up Rivera.
Need a 3. Carly just off the mark.
And that's one, Carly, when she'll go back and watch film, is going to go, had I followed my own shot, which you're taught almost immediately in basketball, and C has told the 2 of us, don't talk about me again. That's her 3rd in a row and a monster 3.
She came into this game 4 of 22 from the arc, and boy, is she on fire right now. 5-point game, 5-point lead for Rhodes, just outside the 4-minute mark. Got to get some flow to their offense. Primo on the backside, knocks down a jumper. She is unconscious, cuts it to a 3-point game. Alex Ritchie's going to take a 30-second timeout, down 3. Rivera got the ball on the block, reverse pivoted, and found Primo on the backside wide open.
And I'm going to tell you, between Michaela Primo and Kirsten C., they are both having great basketball games too. Sometimes what happens is people you don't expect to be the scoring stars end up being. So C's got 15 points now, second leading scorer. Michaela Primo leads the way with 16. She's had an unbelievable game for the Stormy Petrels. This is what you want to see. You know, you talk about Michaela, somebody who hasn't always looked for her shots. She hasn't always been somebody that's really going to go after the shot. Tonight, Michaela, 6 of 9, 2 of 3 from downtown.
That came in 0 for 4 from the arc. Again, this is only her 8th game for the Stormy Petrels, but boy, she's finding it. And a lot of that too, John, I'm not sure how much she was playing basketball before Christmas, and she joined us coming out of the Christmas break. A little bit of a run and jump, half-court trap. Rodney Rogan sees it, reacts to it, calls a quick timeout.
Yeah, they wanted no parts of that one. That was one Alex Ritchie drew up out of the timeout and said, look, we've been kind of sitting back in this 2-3. We're going to blitz them, and they did exactly that.
Kim Coleman does a lot with the defense. He had a big smile on his face there. And the other thing, too, you didn't come up with a steal, but you made them burn a timeout. Now both teams are down to 1 timeout apiece.
And that's huge with 4:07 to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was big.
5 on the floor for the Stormy Petrels. Malia Melton, Gabby Hudson, Kamaria Rivera. You have Carly Bell and Michaela Primo. So 2 premier defenders up top.
They fake that run and jump action to get Rhodes on their heels. C goes to Mathangani from 15. Off the mark again. Taylor Dupree goes over the back to get the offensive rebound. Really thought that one was over the back. There was definitely contact on that one. They're going to call Gabby Hudson on the foul on that one.
Yeah, and that was one. Dupree has been relentless on the backboard. You got to give her credit using the 6'1" and length to go up and do a bunch. That's 7 rebounds for Dupree. And that's a scenario where that size has come into play. It's crazy. If I asked you who the leading rebounder for them was, you would not guess Avery Marsh, but she's got 10 boards so far.
On pace, close to a triple-double right now. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists for the guard for the Lynx. Avery Marsh, a 5'7" freshman out of Little Rock, Arkansas, Episcopal Collegiate School.
And again, the free throw shooting for both teams a struggle. 11 for 20 are the Lynx right now from the foul line. Make that one 12 of 21, so under 60% in a 4-point ball game.
Under 4-minute mark now. Primo with the ball up top. Morgan Skipper back in. Can stretch a defense with her 3-point shooting. Need to get her hot. They really need her hot right now.
She hasn't scored since the first half, where she had basically a 9-0 run by herself.
Rivera from 15 knocks it down. A nice pick and pop off that right elbow.
And that time, no hesitation. Catch, shoot, face up, had Dupree on you, and they're going to get a travel in the backcourt. Great defense there from Olivia Tucker.
Yeah, Avery Marsh was just about to make a pass. Tucker jumped it. Marsh had to hold up and walked. Big turnover. Oglethorpe down 2, 3.5 minutes left in this game.
I'm doing the same action here and getting Kamaria right around foul line extended. See if she can come up with an open shot.
Did it again. Screen the screener off the top. She's going to shoot an air ball on that one.
3-point shot. Now 0 for 5 on the year. Probably not what you want to have her doing.
Good scrambling defense. Malia Melton coming to the table, checking in here.
C is begging for the basketball at the 3-point line. Great block by Morgan Skipper.
Skipper at 5'10", blocked that shot from the 6'1" Dupree. Marsh, good look, pulls up at the free throw line, off the iron. Primo battling for the rebound. Tucker comes up with it. She's got to be smart here. She gets it to roll. That's one of those okay. Tie ball game at 65, 2.5 minutes left.
I'm going to call this the friendly rim because we have seen a bunch of bounces in multiple games that have gone the Stormy Petrel's way, and that one as well.
Really smart defense by Olivia Tucker. Mathangani was coming across to her left hand. Tucker just ran right in front of her. Mathangani throws it out of bounds. 2.5 minutes left. Oglethorpe has the basketball to take an opportunity to take the lead here.
Malia Melton back in. Morgan Skipper still in, so a bigger lineup right now on the floor for the Stormy Petrels.
Primo looking, Rivera reverses, dives. Tucker doesn't get her. Tucker drives, almost travels, gives it up. Primo to Tucker in the paint, and they're going to call a charge. Camille Chase took it on Primo. To be really honest with you, I was surprised they didn't call 3-second on Tucker.
Yeah.
She had built a home and put a patio in on that one. Havica checks back in. Rivera's going to come out. This is definitely offense to defense here. Gives Rivera a little bit of a blow. Allows them to put Melton in, who's fresh, to play the back of the press. Tucker and Primo working on the top. Havica right there. They're going to run and jump. Avery Marsh finds Mathangani. Mathangani's going to take it to the hoop. That's just a great player saying, give me the ball.
Yeah, and that's the last person you want to double off of. I understand the trapping and everything that's been going on, but you don't want to give her a straight line drive like you just had.
Alex Ritchie barks out a play. Melton at the top. Looking to take, has Taylor Dupree. Draws the foul, lays it in. That's a good aggressive take. No hesitation there. Got Dupree off of her feet and pushed through to get the score.
And that's the one we've been looking for out of Malia. That's what she's done a great job over about the last 10 games, is getting to the basket, no hesitation. And she just did that quarter-second head fake to get Dupree in the air and then lays it in with the left hand.
Tie ball game. Melton now. Can she put the Stormy Petrels in the lead? It is good. They are up 1. Minute and a half left in the ball game. This 2-2 pressure has really gotten to the Lynx. Mathangani now in the backcourt. A taller guard that can throw over top of a zone press. They break the press. 2-3 zone from Oglethorpe. 1:20 left in this ball game. C, ball knocked off of her leg, comes up with it. Finds Camille Chase. Marsh up top, back to C. Good defense from Rivera. Got bailed out. They were going to call Morgan Skipper there on a reach. Not sure she got her, but that's the way it goes. 68-67, Oglethorpe leads. Kirsten C. goes to the free throw line. 61% free throw shooter, but also we remind you she came into the game as an 18% shooter from the arc. She's already buried 3. Comes out of a great high school program, Battleground Academy out of the Nashville area. She misses the front end there.
This is very important for Rivera and Melton to block out. Block out. Dupree has done a great job grabbing rebounds over the top of people.
Rivera's got that assignment. C will knock it down. We've got a tie ball game, 1 minute left in the ball game, 68 all. Oglethorpe trying to pull a big upset win here on their home court. Rivera's going to look to take Dupree off the floor, kicks it to Primo. Primo's going to drive on C, draws a lot of contact. They're going to get C on the foul call. They are. Primo with a good, strong take now goes to the free throw line, 47.7. Got to make the free throws. Now you get a 2-for-1 opportunity with 30 seconds on the shot clock and just under 48 seconds on the game clock.
Yeah, if you can make your free throws and get a stop, you suddenly play a free throw game the rest of the way. And Michaela, just the jump shot, she must have been working on it during the last week, because this is as pure as I have seen her shoot the basketball since she's come back to this team.
Pure stroke, confident stroke. Second free throw now is up, off the mark. 1-point ball game, 69-68 Oglethorpe. Got to play that scrappy defense here. Got to box out, not give them second chance points. Also have to know where number 12 is, Alexis Mafangani.
Yeah, everybody but Mafangani and Marsh is who I want shooting the ball.
They're looking inside to Taylor Dupree. Rivera doing a nice job. Tucker's going to go under, gets a deflection and a steal. Primo with the ball. Alex Ritchie begging him to pull it out. Tucker with the ball. They're going to foul her. Unbelievable poke steal. Olivia Tucker getting screened, went under the screen and shot through for the deflection.
Yeah, and not to be undersold here before the free throws are up, Michaela Primo, the headiest play of the year to pull that out, because in past we have seen on the men's and the women's side the propensity to take a fast shot.
Oglethorpe up 2. This would be a big one. It would force Rhodes to hunt a 3 in the final seconds to tie it. She knocks it down. Rodney Rogan is going to take a timeout. Let's set the stage for you. Oglethorpe has run out to the lead, 71-68. It's 16.6 seconds left. In the women's game, you can advance the basketball. They're going to advance the basketball to the timeline on their offensive end. Alex Ritchie and his coaching staff talking about how they're going to defend this. Right now, you've got to make sure 2 things. Don't give them open three-point looks. Don't give them offensive rebounds where you foul them and allow them to get a natural three-point play.
I ask you this as a former coach with 16 seconds left. When the clock gets under 10, do you foul before they get a chance to shoot a three-point shot? They are not in the bonus right now when I look up. So you can, or do you do that at about 12 and start to burn some more clock? Mind you, that's the last time out for Rhodes. I think when the ball gets to 12, I tell them go take a foul, even if it puts them in there. And I'm not sure how many fouls they have here in the final period. But if it puts them in the bonus, it's 2 free throws. This is a team that shot 56% from the foul line as a team. I'm not giving open an open three-point shot here with 16 seconds to go.
Yeah, well, you got a foul to give. So if you make them work and foul with the ball on the floor, go for a steal or something like that, it can be really beneficial. Gave it a little early there. There was only like 1.2 seconds off the clock. Not sure I would have given it that quick. I would have let them get it in, make a couple passes, then go shoot for a steal.
Yeah, because you had Marsh up here kind of in that trap area. You could have probably run 4 or 5 seconds more off the clock. Now you got to play defense as they are in the bonus.
They're looking to rub Libby Long off a screen. She is a three-point shooter. Marshall take it. They don't need to hurry. Great job by Alex Ritchie taking a timeout.
Now they
Melton
can advance
jumped out of bounds. Yeah, Melton jumped out of bounds, and I actually lost the game that would have clinched a conference championship because my player was so quick to want to inbound the ball. You got to lead. So it's 71-70. They went and got a quick 2 off that. Avery Marshall's had an incredible game. Now they're going to have the ball at the timeline on their offensive end. Both teams are out of timeouts. So the first thing Oglethorpe has to do is get the ball inbounds.
Right.
A lot of times teams can panic if it gets to 3.5, 4 on the inbound with the referee counting. The other thing that is really an advantage in Rhodes is you would imagine Rodney Rogan is going to put one of his, probably Taylor Dupree on the ball or Mafangani on the ball here, making it even more difficult to inbound the ball.
I watched a game last week in the NBA, and I forgot who the Heat were playing. 3 straight balls on inbound plays. There were 2 5-second violations and a timeout called, and then a jump ball ended up coming off it. And you were right, Mafangani in. I got to get the ball to Rivera. That's who I trust the most with the free throws down the stretch.
Got to get it in. Primo with the ball. They're going to foul her there. Avery Marshall's going to foul her. again, you'd like that. Primo just knocked down 2. Malia Melton's going to check back into the ball game here.
And here's what you remember. Rhodes has no timeouts. So if you make both, you basically are just going to allow them, or you're going to sit in that pressure at about 2 seconds. I'm fouling, and I'm not allowing them to get a 3-point shot up. But it's important here. Michaela's got to hit both.
Now see, and that's a theory, to foul and force them to make free throws. The only thing I don't like about that, John, with this team is Taylor Dupree's length and ability to tip an offensive rebound to somebody. So I'm not sure I would put them on the line in this situation because they're so stinking long. Primo's second free throw is nothing but net. Now they've got to defend that 2-2-1. Don't foul here. Avery Marsh, loose ball. Melton gets it to C. C's 3 is well off the mark. And Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels have picked up a humongous win on their home court.
What an unbelievable effort. I'm already telling you who we're going to talk to. It's going to be Michaela Primo. Oh, my goodness, what a game.